Hello and welcome back to our KSP Career. This is the jubilous 100 episode where I will be adding this light section on the top, and I will be doing it in style. Yes, you haven't seen the build episode for this one, but we will be launching it in an awesome vehicle that you will see roughly in a few moments from now. Looks awesome, doesn't it? Yeah, that's the light show component. So, alright, first things first. This is our launch vehicle. Yes, it's the Starship and the Super Heavy. Look at them go. Yes, I really wanted to do something like this, and it took me roughly 2 weeks to actually build and record this episode, mainly to a very series of unfortunate incidents. And I'm not talking build and design wise, but first my computer broke, and then afterwards when I were actually building this damn thing and I've actually sent it up, I realized I made a fantastic episode, and I'm just hoping that this one will outmatch it. What happened is I did a recording, and this then I realized after I've completed the mission that I forgot to press record. Yeah, I know, dumbass, right? Yeah, it happens. But that means that it was only a recap for this glorious episode, and this one will be even more epic than the last one that you didn't get a chance to see. I promise you, I'm watching this in post-production. It is. So, that being said, now let's see, when do we have an intersect with the Space Casino? There we go. The plan is to launch directly into the 400-kilometer orbit because Starship and Super Heavy, those pack a humongous amount of Delta V. It's just insane. Yeah, I know it says 3.2 thousand, but yeah, it's actually a bit more. Yeah, so, alright. So the burn time will be 20 seconds, but it will be in 6 minutes because we are waiting to get to the 400-kilometer apoapsis before we ignite once again. And technically it's not entirely correct because the Super Heavy cannot ignite all of the engines again. It can only relate the ones that are gimbaling, the center stack. So technically, yeah, I'm not going here for the accuracy. I'm going for style, you know. And you say, GrunfWorks, you're going with style. Why is everything so dark? I completely agree with you, and I don't have a good answer. However, I hope it won't be as dark later on. There we go. We have engaged the liquid methane, and as you can tell, I'm running with a 3 RVAC configuration because, honestly, when I was actually recording this episode, the 3 RVAC Starship was still a thing. And they weren't saying that it's gonna be, 6 RVACs. So, what can I tell you? I'm working with what I have here. So, alright, so now I'm trying to find a good, intersect. And I'm trying to also to get it to be in the light, so you guys get to see, in the light when the things start to happen. There we go, 50 meters per second, and we will be having a very nice intersect. So, yeah, let's point. The burn time will be minuscule. It's 52.3 meters per second, and our start of a burn will be in 27 minutes. So there we go. Let's accelerate to that one. Alright, so we are close to our maneuver node, which will be happening in 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna be hitting the engines. Okay. Warp there. Perfect. There we go. We are coming up close on the target, so everything will be dandy. No problems. There we go. The target is coming to us, screaming at 100 meters per second, and I'm just trying to decelerate to make sure that we don't slam into it. There we go. 1.8 kilometers, and look at this, how are we approaching, just in case. Yeah, there we go, beautiful. Here we go, 1.3 kilometers, and we are coming close up on the target, just in case, so we don't ram into the target. The Starship looks like a very, very capable vehicle, so beautiful. We are coming along, and I think it will be great. $500 meters. There we go, 300 meters. $280 meters. 240 meters. 230 meters. Alright, so as always, I'm trying to keep my target relative velocity at 3, meters per second, so that we are closing in onto our station. Look how beautiful it is. Alright, and I'm making sure that my thrusters are, nicely aligned. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna rotate the Starship by 180 degrees to be pointing towards that target, so that we could eventually decouple these small components from inside. There we go, look at these things. Alright, I'm gonna control from here. There we go. I want to be able to, control from here, undock or decouple. There we go. I'm using maximum amount of space, so I'm really packing it tight. What can I tell you? Okay, Starship, move away, gently, gently. Oh, there you go, there you go. Oh, slow, easy does it, easy does it. There we go, beautiful. It's really nice to see the payload asks for this massive vehicle to move out of the way. Yeah, anyway, so there you go. We are gonna put this one on the top docking port. I think that will be really cool, because I think it will provide a nice lighting and everything, so yeah. I'm thinking putting on this, so because this one will, it will provide a little bit more light show, so yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that screenshot, isn't that glorious? Probably won't be the screenshot for today's episode, because I really wanted to make it special. Now, that being said, okay, let's have targets aligned. I just wanted to extend the solar panels. There we go. We are kind of close. So now I need to orient it and make sure it's going in the right orientation. I'm just hitting all the keystrokes. Oh, careful, careful. Up, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Ultimately, I really don't need the solar panels on this bad boy, but I was always afraid that I might run out of battery power. And I hear the more experienced among you KSP players snorting now. The guy has like 50 batteries and he's worried about running out of, electrical power while he docks? Is he nuts? No, I'm not nuts. My mom had me tested, so we're fine. Alright, so, there we go. Very nice, gentle docking, real Kerbal style, and look! Perfect! There we go. There we go, and now let's get the Starship into the position for a good screenshot. There we go, we are closing in. There we go. So, by the way, guys, I'm gonna ask you here to smash that like button, because every time you smash a like button, I make sure that my Kerbals have a very, very safe landing. Yeah. We don't have Kerbals here. However, I'm kidding. Look at this awesome shots. I mean, if that's not worth a like, I don't know what is. Alright, anyway, just kidding. Yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of how this episode is turning out. I'm really happy that I've managed to get... This is my actually first time I've managed to successfully dock the cargo from the Starship and then return the Starship, except for the one, episode that you guys didn't have a chance to see. Well, what can I tell you? But this episode has more awesome screenshots. I promise you that. In the previous episode, everything was going on in the dark. That's why, in this time, I tried to have it on the light side of the things. Yeah. So there you go. Beautiful. Alright, so here we go, and let's get away from it. Beautiful. Now, the goal of this one will be to get into a 100 by 100 kilometer orbit, which will secure and ensure that we can actually gently return to the KSC. I really am hoping that we will be able to even land in the KSC, you never know. However, don't judge me, this is my first flight of the Starship. I'm promising you, I'm really enjoying the vehicle, so it's definitely not the last. However, you know what you say about the first launches? Come on, even Elon doesn't expect the first one to be fully successful. But we might get a chance to see that one soon, I really hope. Because at the time of this recording, it was, just so you know, when I was recording this episode, or when I'm sitting here recording, it's just the day before, well, not Christmas, but an FAA, you know, either approval or whatever comes tomorrow. So if it is approval, then it will be like a day before Christmas for all us space nerds. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we are in 100 by 100 kilometer orbit, and I will just make a couple of revolutions until the KSP gets into the favorable position, which is right about there, and I'm unsetting the target, and I'm gonna performing the deorbit burn to make sure that we get into the atmosphere where the Starship will finally show us its flying qualities. Yes, that will be kind of interesting, won't it? I definitely would like to think so. So there we go. Okay, let's point orbit prograde. I'm making sure that, as you can see, I've completely locked the tanks from the header tanks because I didn't want to use the fuel from it. And as we go further along, I will be transferring fuel forward because that will keep the center of mass in front of the center of lift. Now, yeah, don't judge me if you say mass or mass, but yeah, what can I tell you? I'm not an English native speaker, so yeah, please don't judge me. Anyway, I know also that you could do this by tweaking the fuel priority. I just don't know exactly what this is supposed to do. So let me know in the comments below, how do you tweak the fuel priorities to make sure that it's burning first from the main tank and then only from the header tank. That would be really helpful. So thank you very much for your comments in advance. Look at that beautiful shot. Sunrise, and we are flying. Soon we will be hitting the atmosphere, and that will be amazing. Now look at these shots. Oh, I cannot wait to see this. I don't know what we will be able to see from the real Starship launch. I'm pretty sure it will be mostly animations, but I'm hoping at least some shots. And now I have enabled, you know, the wings or the winglets to be able to function, because we have started to hit the atmosphere. We're still high above and our periapsis is dropping. However, I have no idea on the re-entry profile of this vehicle. So what I'm doing, as you can see, I am keeping this, you know, main body and header tank aligned, because I am using methane also for my, you know, RCS thrusters. And still, there is way more fuel in the actual tank, in the actual main tank, than the header tank, because header tank only has 3,000 of liquid methane, while we still have 16,000 in the main tank. So if I was to really, you know, start burning from both tanks, I would probably go belly flop and ended up with my ass pointing towards the orbit. So, you know, it's almost like, you know, taking your pants off and going kiss her first. That's not good. Oh, look at that. Oh, those are amazing shots. I cannot wait to see these animations in real life. That would be amazing. Come on. Look at us go. Starship screaming in over the Kerbin Desert. Yeah, like I said, due to the tanks being full, this craft is not 100% aerodynamically stable. So that's why I'm using RCS thrusters to keep it in check. If I point nose down too much, I won't be introducing enough drag to decelerate. However, if I point the nose too up, it will try to go as first. So I'm trying to keep a profile between 20 to 60, you know, depending on how much braking power I really need. There we go. Beautiful. Also, guys, you are, I think, seeing this in like between 2 and 4 times time acceleration because, well, this took a while. Look at that glorious moonrise. Yeah. This is KSP, guys. This is something that you cannot get anywhere else. Or at least I don't know of any other game that provides this level of excitement. If you do, please let me know in the comments below. I would really like to hear if there is a game similar to this. I know that there are simple planes, simple rockets and all that jazz, but I don't know. I've always been a KSP player and I probably always will. I cannot wait until KSP 2 comes out because, well, yeah. Then we'll have a whole new level of awesomeness coming. There we go. We are at 140 meters per second. I'm also going to engage the thrusters a little bit. So this is the part where I'm actually spending a little bit more extra fuel to make sure that we do fly and get to the KSP, keeping my surface velocity high enough. As you can tell, I'm just doing a little bit of hops to ensure how I could do. So SpaceX, please take notes from my flight and so you will know how to steer Starship. Elon, if you're watching this, yeah, take notes. Just kidding. However, yeah, there we go. We are going towards the KSE, and we'll see how accurately will we be able to stick the landing. There we go. All right, all right. I'm just making small burns just to make sure that we can actually keep pointing in the right direction. There we go. Come on. Alright. There we go. So now I'm starting to transfer all fuel in because I have enabled the header tank. And there we go. Look at it. I have 4,000 meters per second. That's still way more than I have in the other one. But it's okay. I'm making sure. Now I'm actually trying to decelerate a little bit. But also at the same time, I think I've decelerated too much. I have to make sure that I'm using my liquid methane I have. Alright. I'm trying to glide. Yeah, I should have probably, you know, stuck a little bit further on, but okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. I have to keep my, you know, fuel saved for the landing. And now the horizontal surfaces are taking note. Should have probably vented the rest of this liquid methane, but what can you do? All right. Well, these engines are also, look, we are going at 150 meters per second terminal velocity. It's not really that stable, I can tell you that much. Look at that. It wants to go, it's behaving like a flippin' whale, to be honest. But it makes sense why it's behaving like a flippin' whale, because it looks like a flippin' whale. Look at it. Hey, Flipper! But it does fly to where you want it to go, so that's kind of cool. Okay, 60 meters per second, so we have really decelerated quite enough, so to say. Now I'm trying to somehow arrest my horizontal velocity without killing too much of vertical velocity. Okay, 100 meters per second, come on, come on, stronger, and oh, okay. The good thing I managed to touch down at 5 meters per second, so I'm gonna call it a successful landing, guys. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked the episode, and I'll see you in the next one.